Income Level 1. $24,000 a year. You're making about $12 an hour. You step off a bus, walk 3 blocks in the dark, and put a sticky brass key into a deadbolt. You push the door open to your 300-square-foot studio apartment. The air inside is heavy. It smells like cheap bleach and old cooking grease from the unit next door. You flip the light switch, and a harsh, buzzing fluorescent bulb flickers on. Welcome to the absolute bottom of the American housing matrix. At $24,000 a year, you don't have a home. You have a storage container for your body. Look at the walls. They are painted with what Americans call the landlord special. Thick, glossy white paint slapped directly over dust, hair, and even the electrical outlets. The window has iron security bars on the outside. You share a single coin-operated washing machine in the basement with 30 other desperate people. Let's look at the brutal math of this room. You bring home roughly $1,600 a month after the government takes their taxes. Your rent for this concrete box is $900. More than half of your life energy vanishes the second the first of the month hits. You sit on the edge of a mattress that lies directly on the floor. You have $700 left for the next 30 days. Groceries, the electric bill, the bus pass. You're one dental emergency or one stolen phone away from total homelessness. The defining feature of this apartment is not the size. It is the fear. The walls are thin, and the stress is completely suffocating. You tell yourself you just need a real job. You just need a salary. So you grind. You escape the poverty line. Income Level 2. $60,000 a year. You're exactly at the median American income. You're officially the working class. You pack up your stuff and move across town into a 1-bedroom apartment in a complex built in the 1990s. You unlock the door. It has beige carpet. It has a tiny balcony that looks directly at the parking lot. The appliances are mismatched, a white fridge and a black stove. But you have a door to your bedroom. You have your own washer and dryer in the closet. You feel a massive wave of relief. You think you have stabilized, but you haven't. You have just stepped onto the treadmill. At $60,000 a year, your monthly take-home pay is about $3,900. Your rent is now $1,600. But society expects more from you now. You can't take the bus anymore. So you have a $400 car payment sitting in that parking lot, plus a $150 insurance bill. You have student loan payments. You're making more money than ever, but at the end of the month, your bank account is still exactly at zero. You sit on your cheap IKEA couch and look at the beige walls. You realize that $60,000 a year in America doesn't buy freedom. It just buys you the right to participate in the rat race without starving. You're comfortable enough to survive, but entirely too broke to quit. You decide you need to become a high earner. You need 6 figures. Income Level 3. $150,000 a year. Welcome to the fake luxury trap. You got the promotion. You're in the top 15% of earners. You want the world to know it. You sign a lease at a brand new 5/1 luxury apartment building downtown. It has a slick, corporate name. It has a resort-style pool on the roof, a dog spa, and a cold brew coffee tap in the lobby. You walk into your unit. Faux hardwood floors, floor-to-ceiling windows, an island kitchen with quartz countertops and stainless steel smart appliances. You take a photo, put it on Instagram, and your friends immediately validate you. You feel untouchable. But let's rip away the drywall and look at the actual reality of this apartment. Your rent is $3,500 a month. There is a mandatory $100 trash valet fee, a $200 parking garage fee, an amenities fee. And because you live in a luxury building, you have to play the part. You finance a $50,000 BMW to park in the garage. You buy a $4,000 leather sectional. You are making $150,000 a year, bringing home about $8,500 a month, and your lifestyle is consuming $8,400 of it. But the darkest irony of income level 3? You never actually use the rooftop pool. You never use the dog spa. Because to make $150,000 a year in a corporate job, you're working 60 hours a week. You're answering emails at 9 at night. You have built a beautiful, incredibly expensive golden cage. And you're terrified of losing your job, because if the paychecks stop for even 30 days, the bank takes the BMW and the landlord changes the locks. You realize the corporate ladder is a scam. You stop trying to look rich, and you start trying to build leverage. Income level 4. $400,000 a year. Welcome to the fortress. You're no longer an employee. You're a business owner. You have high income skills and massive equity. You move out of the noisy luxury building. You sign a lease on a penthouse condo or a secluded, ultra-modern townhouse tucked away in a gated neighborhood. Your rent is $8,000 a month. To the guy back at level 1, paying $8,000 a month for housing sounds like absolute, irresponsible insanity. But the math has completely inverted. At $400,000 a year, you bring home roughly $22,000 a month. Your $8,000 rent is barely a third of your income. You're saving more money in a single month than the guy at level 2 makes in half a year. But you aren't paying $8,000 for the square footage. You're paying for something much more valuable. You're buying frictionless reality. When you walk into this building, you're greeted by a 24/7 concierge. The elevators are private, and most importantly, it is completely, violently silent. The walls are solid concrete. You never hear a neighbor's television. You never hear traffic. Your home is no longer a status symbol. It is a command center. You don't waste an ounce of mental energy on survival. If a light bulb burns out or the air conditioning breaks, a maintenance team fixes it invisibly while you are out. You pay an absolute premium to eliminate every single minor inconvenience from your life, so you can spend 100% of your mental bandwidth on scaling your empire. You have beaten the survival game. You have beaten the ego game. But there is still one final level. The absolute apex of the American economy. Income level 5. $2 million a year. Welcome to the ownership class. At $2 million a year in liquid cash flow, the very concept of an apartment completely dissolves. You don't live in a unit. You live in a geographic network. You might maintain a massive, custom-built penthouse overlooking the skyline of Austin or Miami, but you also have a ski cabin in Colorado and a beach house in Costa Rica. The paradigm shift here is absolute. You are no longer a tenant in the system. You are the architect of it. You don't pay rent to a landlord. You have the institutional capital to buy the physical real estate in cash or leverage it through a trust. You own the exact assets that the people in levels 1, 2, and 3 are bleeding themselves dry to pay for. You wake up on a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. entirely insulated from the friction of the world. You have a private chef. You have a house manager. You never see the inside of a grocery store. You never clean a floor. You have bought back 100% of your biological time. You walk over to your floor-to-ceiling glass window. You look down at the gridlocked traffic on the highway below. You see millions of cars sitting bumper to bumper. Inside those cars are people trapped in the survival box. People running on the treadmill. People chained inside the fake luxury trap. They are trading the best years of their physical youth just to pay interest to the banks and rent to the landlords. The entire matrix is designed to keep you somewhere between level 1 and level 3. It is designed to keep you tired, distracted, and in debt. Look around the room you are sitting in right now. Listen to the sounds coming through your walls. Look at the appliances. Look at the space. Which exact level are you currently sitting in? And more importantly, what is your exact calculated plan to break out of it before you run out of time? Subscribe to Sterling Finance. Stop being a tenant in your own life. Start building your machine. We will see you in the next one.